So are you not satisfied with the number of hours you are studying every single day and the number of topics you are completing every single day? You want to complete 10 to 12 hours, you want to study longer hours, but you're still not getting into the habit. If that's your problem, then in this video, we are going to discuss why you're feeling that way, what are the mental struggles going on in your mind, and how you can change that, how you can remove the roadblocks and develop the habit of studying. I am CSCS Yogita Harjani, and make sure to subscribe to this channel for more motivational content and revision lectures for CA and CS students. And make sure to like this video. We are aiming for 1000 likes on this video. Now let's start off. The problem we are trying to solve here is to develop the habit of studying for long hours. Now in order to develop that habit, we first of all need to understand what are the different reasons why we are not able to study that hard. So the number one reason is that we are not in the routine of studying. We are not in the habit of studying. Our mind and body, they are not accustomed to studying every single day for that long a period. Now when the number of hours that we want to complete, we are unable to complete them, then what happens is that we feel bad about it. Obviously, we think that we are not good enough. We start telling ourselves that we are not good enough to study the subject or to sit in the examination. We are not prepared enough. This thing that you keep saying to yourself that you are not good enough, that is absolutely wrong. Here, the reason why you're not able to put in all those hours is simply because you are not in routine and you are not in the habit of studying also many hours. It is not about your capabilities. It is in fact about a simple habit that can be developed, right? So it is important at this point to understand that it is merely a habit that needs to be developed, right? If you accept the fact that there is nothing wrong with you, that you are absolutely capable, the only difference is that you don't have the habit right now, and you can definitely develop that habit if you just practice enough. If you just accept this small fact, then it is going to drastically change your performance. The second reason why it is so hard to study is because you are in denial. Often we are in denial of the amount of time that is remaining. When we were in school, we were not very consistent with studies, but just before the examination, we would somehow manage to complete the whole syllabus. We would sit in the examination and we would score high marks. And that is just how our brain is wired even now. We think that we have a lot of time remaining. It is in our hands. We can start tomorrow. And even if we start tomorrow, it is going to be all right. So 1 hour here or 1 hour there is not going to affect our preparation because we are very much in control, because we have 2.5 months remaining, and in the past we have been able to cover up our syllabus, so why not? We'll be able to do it all over again. Well, this is a state of denial. See, here we fail to realize that the course of CA or CS is massive. This huge, massive syllabus requires a lot of time. Whether you study or you do not study, the time is flying by, right? You may not realize it now, but maybe after a month or 2 months, when the time is going to be limited, and you will suddenly realize that there is a pile load of books that you need to complete, that is when the pressure is going to kick in. That is when you will decide that instead of completing the whole syllabus, which is not even possible, you might end up going for selective studying. You might end up not doing the past exam papers, and you might not be able to give your best performance in the examination. You need to get out of this denial that there is a lot of time left and that this course can be done easily by you. Number 3 reason why it is so hard to study or to develop the habit of studying is because it is absolutely logical. See, if I tell you to put your hand in a bucket of hot water, will you be comfortable in doing that? Most likely you will just say no. You're not going to do it. Why? Because when you put a hand in a hot water bucket, then it is going to hurt. It might cause the risk of burning your hand. And it is a very logical decision to avoid that risk, to avoid that pain, right? So this is exactly how our mind works. Where our mind perceives that there is going to be some risk involved, there is going to be some pain and difficulty and discomfort involved in any decision, then our mind really makes up excuses. Our mind does everything in its own capacity to avoid that situation at all costs. And that is exactly what happens even in our preparation. So when we talk about CA syllabus or CS syllabus, it is filled up with very different subjects which you probably have not studied in the past. Each of these subjects require you to have a certain set of mind frame. You need to switch gears in order to understand these subjects and the concepts covered. Moreover, it's not just the difficulty level of these subjects. The thing is that these subjects are also very huge and vast, and you have to sit for months and months just to be able to complete and master those subjects a couple of times. And when you put all of this together and you tell your mind to actually get used to studying, It is hard, it is difficult, it is painful. Now the pain is not physical, but it is mental, it is stressful. So it is nothing but logical for you to think that you don't want to study. So now that we have discussed all the reasons why it is so hard to study, let's now discuss what can we exactly do to change our situation. Let's discuss a few points relating to that. So the first step here is to accept the fact that there is nothing wrong with you, but it is just a matter of habit. So you just have to replace the old habit with the new habit. Your old routine was to maybe not study as much, but now you have to practice a new routine wherein you are going to study for longer hours. The second thing that you need to work on is to find a really solid reason why you want to take up this whole struggle. What do I mean? Well, see, there are many students who also face the same problems, but because their main goal, the reason why they want to crack this examination, it is so strong that they don't mind going through the current struggle. For some of these students, becoming a CA, becoming a CS is a huge thing. For some students, maybe the degree is not as important, but they want to prove a point to someone. They want to prove to themselves or maybe to other people that they really can do it. And that is a very strong motivation for them, which is the reason why they want to do the hard work. They don't mind even if they have to struggle now, because the end goal is going to be really strong and they want that end goal very badly. For some students, their current situation is really bad. It could be financially, it could be mentally, it could be for many other reasons, and they want to get out of that situation, which is the reason why they are pursuing this course of CA or CS. This obsession and desperation of wanting to get out of this current situation is their main goal, why they don't mind going through all of this struggle of reading the books, right? In all of these situations, the reason why they want to undergo all of this pain and toil is so strong. The current struggle feels nothing in front of that end goal that they are aiming for, right? So for you also, you need to see whether your desire, whether your why, your reason why you want to clear this examination, it is strong enough or not. If it is not, then find the right reason. Find the reason why you actually want to do it. The next thing which is very important to develop the habit of studying is to have faith in the process, to believe in yourself. See, some students, they're able to work more. Why? Because they believe in the process of passing this examination. They believe that if they do the right things, if they follow the right mentor, if they put in the hard work, if they do everything right, then eventually they are going to pass. If you have that kind of belief and that faith, then this faith and belief is going to motivate you to still put in all of those hours, because you know that if you're going to put in all of those hours, it is going to give a proper result. You will pass in the examination. So find that deep down internal confidence that you are in control of your destiny, you are in control of your life, and your current circumstance is not going to be the circumstance for you in the future. You can change these circumstances and you can win in this examination. At least believe that the process is fixed, the formula is fixed, right? Passing is not easy, but passing is simple because the steps are laid down. I have already prepared a study plan. You can check it out here in the I button, and you can follow exactly everything that I've stated in the study plan. If you do exactly all of that which has been said, if you just do all of those things properly, you will get there, right? So believe in that process. The next reason why some students are able to study for longer hours while others are not able to study for longer hours is because those first category students, they don't have any plan B. They just have this one plan A. That means they just want to crack this examination. There is no alternate to that, right? And that's all that they are obsessed with. That's all that they are thinking about. That's their first and primary priority. And that is why all their decisions all throughout the day and throughout the months are judged based on this one priority in their head. For them, passing is the only way out, and they will do whatever it takes to pass the examination. Okay, when you have that kind of mindset, when you have that kind of thinking, then you go the extra mile. Then you do everything in your capacity to improve your performance so that you can actually pass the examination, right? So make sure that passing the examination is your plan A and there is no plan B, and this is all that you want. Become obsessed with it, think about it, make all sorts of decisions regarding how to use your time and what to do and what not to do based on this one priority. Automatically, Instagram and social media is going to become less important. Phone calls, friends, partying, relatives, they will become less important. The next tip to developing the habit of studying is a practical tip. So the moment it becomes uncomfortable for you to study, at that time you have to fool your mind into studying. Now how are you going to do that? You have to give your mind a very small target. For example, for one day, suppose you have to complete 2 chapters in law. Right now, those 2 chapters together, they are of 60 pages. Right? If you think you have to do 60 pages, then that's a huge target. It is going to scare off your mind. So instead of thinking you have to do 60 pages, just relax and take 5 pages. So tell yourself that you just got to do these 5 pages. Okay, you just got to read each and every line of these 5 pages. You do not even have to memorize it. You just have to read as if it's a few pages from the novel. And as soon as you finish that, you can get up from the chair and table and you can wander around. You can play your favorite video game or you can watch something online. So when you take such a small target and you give yourself the liberty that if I finish this as soon as possible, I can get up and I can take a break, then what is going to happen is you will leave everything aside and you will finish it as soon as possible to get rid of it. So that way what is going to happen, you complete the same 5 pages which earlier you were doing in 2 to 3 hours. Now you will be able to complete it in just half an hour or 45 minutes. Okay, so try doing that, and try doing that when it is uncomfortable for you to study, right? It's just 5 pages. You don't have to take the burden of 60 pages or 10 chapters or the whole course or the whole exam. So try doing it for 10 days. Try doing it 4 times a day. That way, slowly and slowly, you will develop the habit. The next tip is also a practical tip. Now here you have to take a 10-day challenge. So here what you have to do is that irrespective of how uncomfortable it gets, for the next 10 days, decide that you are going to study for these number of hours and you're going to complete this mini topics and then do it. Okay, just do it, right? Irrespective of the fact that you don't like it, irrespective of the fact that it sucks, okay, still just take up this challenge and just do it for the sake of the challenge for the next 10 days. In 10 days, you will most likely get into the routine. Hope this video is helpful. I'll come back again with another video after a couple of days. Meanwhile, focus really hard on your studies and you can do it. I believe in you. All right, so I'll see you again in some time. Bye bye.